Listen, I said it is Is that around for me?
We're gonna jog in place for 5 minutes.
I'll change these out. You're okay. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Okay, it's 4 o'clock. I know there is one person, she's supposed to be here, but I'm going to get started. We've got 4. So, the first order of business would be, everybody should have got the agenda via email. If I can get a motion to approve. the agenda. Go first and second, all favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Okay. The minutes were also emailed out, but I'll give you a couple of minutes to look over those before we approve them. Oh, yeah.
I walked into a funeral home. Goodness gracious.
I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes, please.
So moved.
We got a motion, need a second? Will we get a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise? We've got a couple of new people here today too I'd like to introduce. We've got 2 new board members, Michael Gray and Jonathan Collins. And then we've got a new commissioner. This is, I think you've been at a meeting before the election, I believe, though. So
The last one.
No, it's the last one. January.
I'm the only one ahead of
That's right. Okay. Well, new business, I'll turn it over to Chad.
Okay, it's that time of year again, and our, correct me if I'm wrong, Megan, our current slate officers are Rick Barthane, Chairman, Mike Simmons, Vice Chairman, and Stephanie Dicker as the Secretary of Treasury. So we'll need to elect new officers, starting with Chairman. We'll open the floor for nominations or volunteers.
Nominate Rick. I'd second it if I could, right?
Chad, do we have to do that like we normally do any other motion? We have to have this.
Well, I was gonna say,
There's
there's
a
a nomination.
nomination. If you only got those, you can do the whole.
Okay.
You should nominate, keep it all the same for each other.
But somebody could, if they wanted to. I have a nomination for chairman. Any other nominations for chairman?
Make motion, cease.
Okay. While we only have one nominee for chairman, we'll move to vice chairman. Any nominations for vice chairman?
I nominate Mike.
I'd second.
Any other nominations for vice chairman? And then last but certainly not least, nominations for secretary treasurer. Any other nominations for that position?
I know this seems kind of informal. I think it's important to keep a little consistency. We have a lot of new people, and there's no significant impact one way or the other. It's just, we can just facilitate a little bit better, just more for consistency. So
Since we only have one nominee for each, I have a motion to approve the slate of officers. Second.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Mr. Chad.
Well, I'm going to tag team with Dan and Megan a little bit on this.
On purchasing.
Yeah, the EDA has typically just followed the county board of commissioners purchasing policy. And as Megan pointed out, as a matter of housekeeping, that was recently updated within the last year, mainly to increase levels of spending before something has to come to the board. But we're actually in the process of putting all that policy together with the old ones in writing. It's not available yet, but Dan and Megan, maybe you can outline what the spending limits were or were moved to. We recommend that, just for consistency purposes, the EDA adopt the revised purchasing policy of the commissioners.
Primarily, it was, primarily it was $15,000 for the county manager, the $15,000, I guess, for the chairman of the EDA approval, and then anything over 15 to 25, of course, you got quotes on, anything over 25, you got bids. That was moved to 75,000 on the sealed bids, which I don't know when we would have a quote sealed bid situation. Do you, Chad?
Not really on
The only time I can think of, we had one since I've been here, is when we were doing the dirt work,
Well,
345.
yeah, you could.
That would be the only time I can think of.
Like a construction agreement or something.
Yeah.
But really, the only issue with updating the purchasing policy is that the purchasing policy does not say as amended over time. It says that we'll follow the county's purchasing policy for the most part, but it has some other strange stuff that I guess went into effect when we do the business. But like the public facilities authority purchasing policy says as amended over time. So we're just gonna add in that language so that it follows it as we make changes in the future, so we don't have to keep reviewing the purchasing policy.
It's unfortunate when with inflation and those type of things, those numbers have to be visited periodically.
So this is just the approval for Chad to include the EDA as part of that purchasing policy
Do
rewrite.
we need to get that approved today, or we wait for him?
No, go ahead and approve it. Just say you'll continue to follow the updated policy of the commission.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to follow the county commission's purchasing guidelines.
I make a motion.
Okay,
Second.
got a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, likewise? Okay, thank you, Chad and Megan. Okay, Rachel is not here today, so I think Dan's gonna handle this, the proposed approval of reimbursement to the general fund.
Yes, sir. For the fiscal year 24 ending, and then for the active fiscal year 25, currently we've expended $101,819.93. That you all need to authorize us to pay back to the general fund, because quite honestly, we pay all of those out of general fund, and then the EDA has to reimburse the county. We need to set a motion to authorize the chairman to sign such check.
$101,819.93.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to repay the fund to the county out of the EDA bank account for the funds that they have paid on our behalf. This one.
It's got the blue in it.
It's the, part of it, the biggest part of it is the JDA reports that y'all approved for last meeting. But just so y'all know, Jonathan and Michael, we do this almost every time we meet. The EDA has money in its own bank account for the first time ever. So we pay all the expenses for the EDA out of the EDA's money, and then it comes from the general fund. So, but we pay for it out of general fund and then reimburse. So we just do it all at the same time. Mostly quarterly, but we have a meeting regularly, so we just approve it at every meeting.
And then I know of this, the large number, like they said, was where we paid the Joint Development Authority quarterly. And that's the bulk of this, because that's coming out of the EDA now instead of out of the county paying for it.
Is it the one?
It's in the 101, I think it's
Is that the annual or is it the quarterly?
quarterly.
Quarterly.
The 101 includes
portions of fiscal year 2024. So it's
Yeah.
closing out 24,
We're closing out
and then
24,
the first
25.
6 months of 25.
Then we had, refunded $1,000 to CHI, some stuff.
I believe the EDA quarterly is about 27.
Okay.
And then there's a financial report. Yes.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I got a first and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Okay, thank you. Okay, Megan, if you can, consideration of the comprehensive plan for small business.
Okay, so in case you didn't know, we have just started the comprehensive plan update process. That is due, I believe, next February 2026. It's a very long process, but part of the work plan, work program that we come up with every time we read the comp plan is economic development. So this is all of the economic development items that were included in the 2021 work program. Specifically, Dan and I have been looking at the one that's highlighted in yellow, the investigative support small businesses and entrepreneurial efforts. As you mostly know, we have the last few years focused primarily on industrial support, manufacturers, that kind of stuff. But this is something that we were supposed to be doing, something that we want to start doing in the future. So we're kind of looking for a little bit of guidance on that. Whether that's, I know Amy has done some stuff with like the small business development, whatever that is, SBDA. So whether it's bringing somebody in to talk to small businesses or something like that, looking for some any input from the board.
I mean, don't we already do that through our support through the chamber?
She said, don't we already do
I mean,
that?
we already support the chamber and partner with y'all, so is that not satisfying?
I don't know.
Are y'all doing those educational still?
We have them on the thing to do. We're actually talking, right now, we're working with the students first, but then that's the next thing. So we have project purpose coming in first quarter, and then we're gonna move into the small business.
I think it'd be a great partnership.
We already promote SBDC, the SBA seminars and webinars and things like that, so we promote those currently. And then they have a place at Dalton State College where they just opened a small office there. So yeah, we are already working with them that way. So I don't know if that qualifies for what you're looking for, or if we need to do something specific, we can. If there's some.
So wait, so the 50 that's on here in yellow, is that funds that you're recommending we give to the chamber? Or
No, that's just a
It was
number.
just a guess.
We have to put a number out there on the comprehensive plan.
Yes.
It's just, I mean, if we basically haven't spent hardly any, I think we spent a little bit of money for the Thrive.
We asked.
We had held here convention,
Yes.
but, we wouldn't have enough money all said and done if we went through here and paid.
Well, and that 50 would be over the life of the 5-year plan, but still, I mean, that could be in kind with staff time and, room rentals and all that type of thing. So it's not just,
Well, and like y'all already presented, economic development day to the leadership Catoosa class, so, you came out and did that should be considered as part of that as well, because that's medical small businesses. So, I mean, we can identify the things that are probably already done on them.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a few meetings scheduled for this over the next few months for people of the county to come in and look at and speak and everything.
The first one, I believe, is the 15th, I would say. No, the 19th. 19th. The 19th. I don't know, I can send it out, but I did bring the survey that you can take if you live in Catoosa County. You can take the comprehensive plan survey. It's super easy, it takes like 5 minutes, but I have a QR code if you want one, let me know.
we could know about.
Yeah.
We've been promoting that in the newsletter, chamber newsletters and online too. Yeah, March 20th at 6 o'clock is the first one.
That office there and everything.
in the commissioner's room.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is part of the county plan, comprehensive plan. This isn't an EDA plan period. This is part of the whole county, so the county commissioners will be the ones that ultimately vote on what's in here. Am I correct with that?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, in both cities.
Yeah, in both cities.
It's
So it's
a
not,
joint plan.
this is more informational for sort of what we're laying out. If somebody sees something they would like to change or talk about, it's sort of here.
Well, if you have any strong feelings about that and you just don't want to share them right now, let me know. Or if you're really passionate about it or you don't care, just let me know, think about it.
Well, I've got a lot of questions about it.
Okay.
I mean, what is the intentions behind
To help educate small business, mainly your smaller businesses.
it? Yep.
I know that in the past, the chamber has put on a series of things from HR to, anything about Google, about how to enhance your, your search engines. At the city, when we had downtown development, when we first started it, we brought the small business administration up. Anybody that we could get that helped small businesses and just offered that to them. I think the first one, we had like 74 people show up. And, of course, the numbers sort of went down as we started repeating things, but that was years and years ago. And, my thought was if we could do something on one side of the county and one side on maybe work with 404 on the other side of the county, and just really try to help those smaller businesses. We might bring a Lori Dowdy in from the state that would really, provide some information to help these small businesses.
I was gonna say, because
And that includes entrepreneurship, we'll roll in with the small business stuff, and try to, and I know there's some people who look at different thoughts on what we need to do with that. That is an important part that we need to look at in the county, I think.
But you never know when that one or two man person in their garage is going to be the next Kurt Plus or the next Shaw Industries. You don't know.
You don't.
Or
But we've got to do what we can to
Yeah.
foster.
I started back in my truck.
Yeah.
So that's an important process, I feel like, for people in the county is entrepreneurship.
Has there been any thought about actually having more of a, Chattanooga does it, like a birthing center for these things, Dalton does it.
We discussed, well, how long ago was that?
$50,000 each there.
No.
Well,
but
and I think Reno right now with the Benton and Colville, and I think that's part of what they're doing because it's below market rent. And they're small spaces, 400 or 500 square feet, 600 square feet.
Yeah, because in my mind, if you partnered with something like that and brought people in on a regular basis, to address issues, that shared workspace idea to that. Entrepreneurship is the fastest growing thing we have in our culture. And keep them in North Georgia instead of going to Chattanooga is it's a huge benefit. It's better to do business in Georgia.
We've got that neat building sitting right across the street over here, I forget the name of it, but you got all those young, bright minds, and they're learning a lot of trades.
That's right.
But if you get people with common interests, if they're entrepreneur types together, well, guess what?
Yeah.
And that might be something, I think, personally, I think we need to sort of put our heads together and discuss that as a group sometime, and then about who, if we're Department of College Career Academy, the chamber, the two cities, and come up with a plan, all encompassing, and that would fall under this comprehensive plan. We'd be more specific when we get into the plan. Is what I would think we would have sort of a work session where that's all we work with that day. Everybody bring their ideas and we'll sit down and see what's feasible, what's affordable at the current time and everything. Because the main thing with economic development authority, our income consists of, is it 1/8 of 1% for bond issue, on any bond issue? It's 1/8 of 1% is where our money comes from on this, or if we sell any real estate. That's our only income stream. We've just done a bond from Memorial. And,
Yeah, they increase your balance, that you see there, about 50,000.
yeah. So this just came about 2 years ago when we started doing it. Before, we weren't collecting anything on bonds. Chad was doing all of it, and we made a decision to get an actual bond attorney involved to where we can get the 1.81%, and it cleans up some stuff with us taking possession of the real estate or the equipment or whatever. And Chad can talk to that more than I can from the legal standpoint.
Well, I mean, you're administering these bonds, tax payments, and you weren't collecting any fees on them. And so your balance, your fund balance has gone from basically zero to close to $500,000. So you do get $1,250 a month billed over it.
Yeah.
All the industrial.
But to answer your question, having been small business in the county, you see more of that partnership with the chamber than you do on our side, which it is, you know, we don't go after that the way that Chattanooga goes after that, because I used to teach at the SBDC. They've got a program where I want to start a business, okay, and they will walk you through that process and how to get there. And then help you in the process of where do I need to land, be it in the SBDC, or they can find you a place to be able to be outside.
And our SBDC reps are out of Rome, so she does come here, although I don't think she's with SBDC anymore, so I'm gonna figure that out, but she comes here and meets with clients and things like that, we don't facilitate that.
But something that so this is Lori Down, she's our state rep with the Georgia Economic Development. Yeah, Georgia Department of Economic Development, there we go. And she goes with Spencer and Amy and I and Marissa and Dan sometimes to existing industry visits. So we visit with mostly our manufacturing partners. And what we discover, obviously it's on a bigger scale than a small business, but what we discover every single time we visit one is that they don't know what they don't know, and they're not taking advantage of something that they should be. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars more than they had to, or they pay taxes on something they shouldn't have. And you can't go back once they do it. So we got lucky last time and caught somebody right before they made a big purchase, but that doesn't happen every time. So we're trying to figure out how to mold that into a small business form.
It's pretty much gonna have to be, we're gonna have to have some kind of session, just invite everybody from all local businesses in our county for a lunch or something, and tell, Lori come in and anybody else we need to explain the process and what you can.
We did have somebody at GDAC bring in for Georgia Department of Development that does small business out of the box. I'll make sure you have his contact, but he would be a great asset for you all to know.
But if you should do a work session before our next meeting, specifically about this,
I don't know if we can get it done. Well, I don't know, are you talking bringing businesses in or just?
No,
Okay.
just for discussion.
Yeah, we'll discuss the time on that.
Well, yeah, the reality is, we have a lot of land now, but once those cards are played out,
That's what happens next.
what happens next? Exactly, so that's a good point.
Okay, any other discussion on this? Okay, Amy, with the chamber, your her report, please.
Yeah, just, so I mentioned earlier, our next project is called Project Purpose. Some chambers do it. It's a week-long program for our kids. Our 12th graders are about to graduate and don't have a what's next. So Marissa and I have been working with the work-based learning teachers and counselors at the recent high schools. We have 31 students that are signed up. Other counties have done this the week after graduation. We feel like we can take that, put it in the school year, and then, so we're doing it the week after spring break, so that we can provide transportation. We're going to take them to Charlotte and Roper and C.S.I. Memorial, and get them, the goal is to get them all job offers. So if any of you have any job opportunities for entry-level positions, we're looking for those where they'll get an interview and a job offer, obviously contingent upon graduation. But we're gonna celebrate these students. We're gonna give them cords for participating so that they can wear those at graduation. And it's just another source of workforce for our local employers. So again, any ideas of other jobs that you might have, we would welcome those.
And also, about that. I love that the chamber, when they created the form, they had to do like a personal statement of why they wanted to participate. y'all, some of them will just bring tears to your eyes talking about wanting to be able to provide financial security for their future family, talking about how, hard things are, at their home. One person that was talking about, we got kicked out of where we were, we're living in a different house. So, it's very encouraging to see that these young people understand that they're gonna need a job, and we want them to go into a professional job where they're gonna have benefits and so they can be successful in the future instead of just going to McDonald's or somewhere and flipping burgers for $15 an hour. So, I think that with the competition with fast food, it's kind of hard to get them redirected sometimes, but just to get them into these excellent companies where they have a chance for growth and benefits for the future. So,
I appreciate Melissa's help on that so much. And another thing I want to just make everybody aware of, I am having Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger here it's actually May 1st. If you had a April 17th day on your calendar, we had to change the dates for his availability. So he'll be our speaker at the May 1st networking at lunch event. So I hope y'all can join us. We have to have a good crowd there. As far as I know, he hasn't been in our community ever for a long time, I guess. It was a county office, so see, thanks for making a little contact there. And Tanya Moore suggested, and I thought it was a great idea, and I followed on that, so we'll look forward to having him.
Thank you, Amy. Next will be Marissa Brower from Collins County.
Yes, so we are coming up to the time of year that we work all year to get to this point because our students, our seniors will have earned their certificates, and we will be doing an interviewing event for our College and Career Academy students, and then on May 12th, we have our courting ceremony. And our courting ceremony last year was amazing. And what is so great to me about that event is, we have some students that are, very successful in their home high schools and, participate in things and earn honors and awards, but then we have some that don't. And so when those parents can come and see their child get cords for certificates. I mean, last year it was standing room only and we had people crying. But that is truly what we work all year for. And then they will have interviewed and then they are signing with the companies that are hiring them at that event. And we have several students that are still working where they went to work last year. One young man came to see us and said that he had saved $14,000 since last June, and they come back to see us all the time. We had one young man that went to work at Shaw. He came back and talked to our logistics class and was just telling, helping to educate students about the opportunities that are out there for them. So our interviews, so the project purpose is for our kids, like Amy said, that don't know what's next, and that's different from our College and Career Academy students. But with all the entry-level positions that people are desperate to find workers for, I think it's a great thing when we can get two different groups of students and get them placed in jobs that people are desperate to fill. So the courting event, like I said, it'll be amazing. It'll be the first part of the day. We're only going to have one this year, but it's a great event. And that's how our success is measured, by how many kids get jobs and how many go to college.
Great. Okay, Dan's going to fill in for Rachel on financials.
If you look at your first report there, it looks like this. If you can see at the top, this is going to be through January of 31/25. And you do see some income there. Looks like there was a payment made to the Chamber of Commerce on behalf of C.S.I. and Amy Collins said it to us. I think that happens sometimes because it's a county building or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they thought that, well, they paid y'all, it was supposed to be to me, but they paid it us.
And the billboard rental, October through February, was $1,250. And then there was about $4,100 worth of pictures, so we actually had $6,300 For the revenues, bringing your balance as of January 31st, 25 to $445,590.41. And if you will flip to, this is your bank statement as of January the 31st, and you can see down at the bottom of that middle block there on the left, the ending balance matches up, complies with actually what we just read you on the balance sheet. And flip a couple more pages there. And here's just the expense reports for the next couple of through January. Through the first 4 months, right? Any questions?
On the back is where we stand on the squash funding for the unallocated balance. And I guess, do you know how, Rachel, someone probably knows this, but you know how it's trending towards the projections, or getting above projections on tax rate?
Well, we're done collecting for 2019 now.
Okay.
We started 2024, so we'll also collect in July.
Right. But, I mean, do we know, is it collections coming in good on it, or do you know?
They're a hair above right now of last year. Last year.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Spencer, involved with the economic development, the joint development authority.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you. So I will be short, but 2 projects that this board did tender offer letters to, Project Bible and Project Hazelnut, are still moving along in a positive direction. I've been in communication with both of those companies a lot since the start of the year. We've got past the administration changeover, we're continuing to move, and really starting to move again in their decision-making process. Project Separate and Project Code are the 2 smaller projects that did not require a letter from this board, but they're still moving ahead as well. Much the same story, the post-administration changes. They're continuing to move forward and get new cost estimates and new engineering done to adjust for inflation and some of the costs that have been adjusted. So those are still very much in the decision-making process, and frankly, I think in a very positive situation for us. And I am happy to, I know we didn't have any board members, it's a likely executive session here for any of that. I'm happy to do so. That's at your discretion. We've also had a lot of direct contact in the last month, through the last 2 weeks, with several South Korean companies that are looking, obviously Georgia has had a lot of foreign direct investment out of South Korea with Hyundai, SK, Q-Cells, and then the list goes on and on and on. I know the board knows all about those. But as those locate here, a lot of the suppliers are now feeling they can be closer. And so I want to put us in a position to be playing in that ballpark for a lot of those tier 1, tier 2 suppliers for those larger companies. So we began to have those discussions in the last few weeks. When it comes to requests for information at large, that's remained very fast, very positive to start the year. We're continuing to see those 2024 numbers continue, which 2024 we had more RFIs than we've ever had. So if that trend continues, I would see the same in 2025. I'm happy to answer any questions, but like I said, answer.
One thing I'd like to add for Spencer, since we've got a couple new board members here, Spencer's been handling all our RFIs and everything for last, 2 years, I guess. When Keith left, we made the decision, since we were supporting part of the joint development authority, it was financially beneficial for the county to let Spencer do that instead of hiring a new person at that time. So that's where he's involved with us. He's sort of part of our thing as far as doing RFIs and the state contact for us for incentives. So make y'all aware of that. Okay, thank you, Spencer. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Have a motion, need a second? Second, all in favor, say aye. I'll entertain a motion to use the executive session. Have a motion, second. Second, all those say aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Mr. Chairman and board members, the Development Authority still owns a small sliver of land, probably an acre or less between College Park Drive and what behind will be the Alabama Highway. We've been in discussions with Marathon Realty Corp. to locate a grocery store and some other retail components there. About a $20 million project with projected annual sales of $30 million. The particular piece of property that we own abuts their property. It is not usable to the development authority, but it is usable to them for slope and grade easements. And we have not offered any financial incentives to this company for the project. But before the development authority now for consideration would be transferring title to that small piece of property that we own to Marathon Realty Corporation as an incentive to have them go forward with this particular project. And this is a piece of property, as I said, that's not really usable or buildable on its own, and it's not currently on the tax rolls. So I would entertain a motion and any questions regarding this matter.
Okay. Got a motion?
Make a motion.
Okay, that motion, be a second.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, likewise.
That's all I have.
Okay. If there's no further business, motion be adjourned.
She's needy.